What?
This is a workout session. We had Mike T coming by, doing some heavy pulling. Mike, he basically, what he does is he leverages himself down utilizing the barbell and wedges himself in a very tight position. He actually forces his shins, if you really look at his shins, right before he pulls, he forces his shins way back to the point where he would just absolutely fall backwards if he was to let go of the bar. Mike threw his back out a little bit on that last pull. But Mike is a tremendous deadlifter. He's done around 860 in the gym before. I think he's pulled around 840 in a contest. He just has really good form on the deadlift. And it was awesome having him here because he was really helping me a lot with mine. I don't do a lot of conventional deadlifting. I don't do a ton of conventional deadlifting, but I was working on it on this day, and it's something I need to work on. Conventional deadlifts, even if you're a sumo deadlifter, it's just a great exercise to just help with overall strength, and lower back strength especially. So it's going to be something I'm going to put a little bit of time into, even though I'm still going to pull sumo in the meets. Yeah, Mike threw his back out, so he was messing around doing some band stuff to help kind of traction his spine there. He had a long car drive out here. He's in the car for a few days coming out this way, and just hopping out of the car and doing some heavy deadlifts, not always the greatest idea. But it's tough, you get excited, you just want to hop into it. He was in a different environment. He's also not used to having a lot of people around him. Trains by himself all the time, so that's a factor. But after being here, he thought to himself, I need to get around more people. One, for the experience of just having people watching you, and then two, just to learn from each other. There's a lot you can learn when you're helping, when you're coaching, just watching other lifters, whether they're new or whether they've been doing it a long time, whether they're good, whether they suck. There's a lot to be learned. Did I win anything? Like I'm trying to pick it up off the ground.
Off my shoelaces.
All right.
I just have, and I guess really at the end of the day, it kind of doesn't matter a whole lot.
Right.
Is that my grip?
Why is your grip pretty wide? 'Cause your legs are big.
Yeah, like when I dip down in here,
your legs. Okay.
I'm pushing out on my hands already, so.
That's a little Olympic lifting-ish too, pushing your legs out like that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really consciously do it. It just kind of happens.
Right.
But, I get some breaths, and then, the thing, everybody asks me what I'm doing when I'm breathing like that. I don't know.
You're just getting your air. I understand. Just getting tight.
It just helps me get tighter, yeah. Right. So, take that last breath in, then I rock back, sink down until it feels like my hips are really low,
right.
But from the side they don't look as low as they feel. Right. But that's it though, after the last breath, just weight back
on the heels.
And then just be patient with it. I'm still back on my heels a lot.
Okay.
And another thing, when I'm getting my breaths, I'm kind of pulling some of the slack out of the bar.
I saw you were pulling a lot of slack out of the bar, but it was real heavy.
Yeah.
It was real heavy. The whole bar was bending before you ever even went.
Yeah, I'm just getting a feel for it.
Right. When you're setting your hips, are you thinking about pushing them back? Or are you thinking about getting them down?
Well, at first it's just throwing them back,
So pulling them back so far they eventually go down, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, like at first it's pulling everything back, and that's where I get a little bit of that bar roll, And then I just kind of
from the side, Jim, a little bit.
Then it's just be patient with it until your hips are down,
See how far back he sits there? Are you concentrating on arching at all, or are you just trying to keep your back straight?
Usually not. The biggest thing I do that helps my arch is when I'm getting those breaths in, I really concentrate on
Your stomach's
full breath
solid.
in. But after that, I don't really think about it too much.
Right. Okay. All right, let me see if I can give it a shot. Probably end up looking the same as all the other ones. And a huge and very, very important thing about the deadlift is that you get your back to at least be neutral. You don't want your back to be rounded. Your back does not necessarily have to be arched a ton, like a lot of people say. I don't believe that your back needs to be arched a lot. However, your back needs to be flat, and it needs to remain flat. So some people like to arch so they can keep some sort of stability in their back throughout the entire movement. They may start arched, and their back may slightly round as they go through the movement. Whether it's a sumo deadlift or a conventional deadlift, a lot of the principles are still the same. You want to get your back to be neutral or straight, and you want to get your body as tight as possible. Mike is absolutely amazing at getting his body tight. There's probably nobody better in the history of the world than Ed Cohn at getting his body tight. He can pull sumo or conventional like a madman. It felt a little different. It felt like I was getting a little lower.
Definitely. I can see you doing it too, because you can see where your legs start to push out on your elbows a little bit.
That's weird. That moved a lot. I think that moved a lot faster than the last one too. That's that the last one?
7-0 and 6-0. So the first one was better. I think
First
the
rep.
one, that's where you really got down a little bit lower.
I had a little trouble with the spacing between where my legs were and where the bar was.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I felt. That feels.
Kind of like as you drop your hips
Definitely
low,
feels
your quads
safer.
getting forward. Yeah, I think so. But
Yeah, it feels safer because I'm able to at least use my legs somewhat. I end up stiff legging them all, you know.
yeah.
Especially conventional. Especially when I get heavy, I just. Yeah. They usually have long arms though.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't coach that in good conscience. You know?
Right, I know.
I mean, if somebody picks it up and they can do it, then that's great. But I can't tell somebody to do that.
Are you gonna bench a little bit too, or you?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I see now I dorked myself up. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll help you out. Whatever you want to do.
All right.
Robot doing some pulls also. Had a lot of action going on that day. We had a meet the following day, and we even had Tuchscherer hanging upside down. Again, he's doing some back traction stuff, trying to relieve some pressure from twisting his back up a little bit on that last pull. So I ended up doing a 585 deadlift on this day with 4 chains, and then went back down and worked on some form and some speed. See, we have the Tendo unit hooked up there. It tells you about your force production on every rep and every set. Trying to use better form, trying to squat down a little bit more. But see, I'm still not getting my butt down probably as much as I need to. But Mike and I actually tested it out, and we did a few. He had me do a few sets with my butt high and a few sets with my butt low, and I actually produced more force when my butt was higher. I locked my back in a little bit there, a little bit better on that one. And I broke the Tendo unit world record and won a invisible balloon. Just another day at Super Training Gym.